Kia ora, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of The Drop Clutch with me, Ricky V. In this series, I'm interviewing as many metal drummers from around New Zealand as I can get to in order to find out what makes these guys and girls tick. Now, my guest tonight is a super dope drummer. He is the drummer for the busiest band in the land, Pull Down the Sun. I have Stefan Bourke. Stefan, how we doing, bro?
Hey bro, I'm good man. How you doing?
Fucking awesome, man. Excited to be talking to
Yeah,
you. So,
thank you, bro. The same
to
goes.
excellent. I'm so honored to hear that. Now, to get us started, Stefan, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, about your history? Give us a brief rundown, please.
Of course, bro. Yeah, so I basically started drumming when I was about 16. So a little bit later to the game than some people, but I kind of started drumming because of my brother, my older brother Andrew. He always been into music, always been into metal and stuff like that, and he's 10 years older than me, so I kind of just followed him around like a bad smell. Um, and he one day when I was 16, he sort of just he kind of just asked me like, you played drums at school, a bit, and I was like, yeah, man, yeah, hard out, yeah, I play mean drums. He's like, oh, cool, cool, because I just brought a drum kit. You should come around and show me some stuff. And I was like, yeah, 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 hard out, yeah. So yeah, I pretty much had to kind of faff my way through it and learn really quickly how to kind of play some shit on drums. So it
Sure.
was
Um,
yeah, it's kind of what got me started. Yeah,
Excellent. So you were 16. How old are you now?
yeah, 37, man.
37. Okay, so
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
21 years.
yeah. It's been a minute.
Hell yeah, that's a long time to stay dedicated to anything, man. So
Yeah,
awesome, great job.
yeah. Cheers,
Uh,
cheers.
can you tell us about what setup you are running at the moment?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I run my kit is a pearl crystal beat, the
Okay.
acrylic, clear
Ah,
acrylic
yep,
sort of ones. Yeah,
sure.
yeah, they look super pretty under lights, man. That's like 80% of the reason I brought it. But turns out it
Cool.
sounds really good too, so it's a bonus.
Okay.
But yeah, just run that. Pretty basic setup, one up, one down. I run a Joey Jordison snare still, all these years
Oh,
later.
I love that
Just
thing, man.
cracks, man. I can't get away from it. I'd love to. I feel like I should replace it just for you know convention's sake, but it just absolutely slaps. So I just yeah, love that. Running mostly Sabian cymbals, but with a
Okay.
cheeky Zill bell, as
Hey,
we all know and
sure.
love.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
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 man. Shit,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, one of those, and that's kind of become part of my sound now. So um, I only I play Sabian cymbals because they were on special at Rock Shop one day, and I needed like three new cymbals, so I've sort of stuck with it.
Sure.
Um, yeah, yeah, but no, I love my cymbals. I've got a splash and a little tiny stack that I made as well.
Okay.
Sort of incorporating those into my playing. So yeah, but otherwise pretty standard. Sort of big crash ride, couple of crashes and a China.
Sure.
Um, yeah, yeah, good
Sweet
times.
as. Is it the 6 inch or the 9 inch Zilbel that you
It's the
use?
6 inch. Yeah, it's just
Ah,
sitting on top of my ride there, so I just
sure.
sort of yeah run that. Yeah,
Bro, as somebody who has both, I'm not sure if you can see it past my
yeah, I
fat head.
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Try and get your hands on a 9 inch. It's
Yes.
fucking dope.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is dope. And
yeah.
to
No, definitely.
follow on from what you said before about the Joey Jordison snare, nah, fuck
Yes.
that. Keep it. That snare's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It
That
is. It's
snare
sick.
is the shit, and it's
It's
always
sick
been
as
the
hell.
shit, and it's always going to be the shit. So nah,
Yep.
keep rocking it, man. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah, yeah.
Now, Stefan, can you please tell us what your warm up is, whether for practice or for live shows, if you even have one?
Yeah, I do actually have a bit of a warm up. It's not anything that's very consistent. It's usually be at a gig, 10 minutes before we're due to go on, or a couple of, you always usually get that we've got two songs left, sweet, that's me. I'm out the back and just stretch my as much as I can and stretch my legs, sit down on the ground and stretch my neck and do all that kind of stuff as well. And then I pretty much just grab a pair of sticks and just whack my stick bag for a couple of minutes, just trying to get some double strokes going and a couple of paradiddles and stuff like that. I'm definitely not a rudiments guy, but I feel like those couple of ones really, really sort of help me get me wrists all good to go for the set. So that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah,
Sure.
couple of jump up and downs and a couple of flaps around and stuff, and good to go.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Cool. Now, getting a little bit into the nitty gritty, Stefan.
Yes,
Can you tell us who some of your favorite drummers are and whose
absolutely.
style has influenced your playing the most?
Yeah, man, for sure. A couple of my favorites at the moment are sort of guys. I quite like the guys that are kind of doing something a little bit different. Um, and I'm not even speaking about myself in this because I don't do that. But I don't know if you've heard of the band Night Verses. They've
Oh,
got a
no.
drummer. They're an instrumental three piece.
Okay.
And the drummers are, I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm so sorry, Eric Implota. And he's fucking nuts, man. You should look him up. He's just all over the place all the time, but still has some real nice groove. And he's on the electric pads. He's just doing crazy stuff. So him, he's my boy. Nick Peterson from North Lane.
Mm,
Um,
sure.
I'm a bit of a late comer to North Lane, but after playing with them at Rock Monsters last year, he's my boy now. I can't get enough watching his old. He's got drum playthroughs like 10 years old on YouTube and stuff like that. So he's sick. As far as like actual like influence and stuff goes, probably like Mario from Gojira's. I know he gets mentioned a lot on this show, but
A lot.
he's the man, dude. Yeah, he's real good. And yeah, I'm a, I'm pretty much like I kind of class myself as like a new metal drummer because it was when I sort of started. That was the big thing, It was all new metal. It was like early 2000s.
Mm.
So like I still maintain that John Otto has the best drum sound ever. It would never be
Oh,
topped. Just
oh,
that's yeah. Yeah, I'll die on that
oh,
hill, man.
oh,
Yeah,
fuck
but
yeah.
all those new metal drummers, man, Abe Cunningham from Deftones, another massive one. Um, and he obviously influenced, Blind Spot was a big thing for me back then because it was just when I was getting into music and they were kicking off and doing things all around the Southern Hemisphere. So it was, yeah, pretty sick. Um, yeah, I mean, it's kind of favorites and influences all rolled into one, but I could go on all day, man.
Sure, sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you seen Mario's new drum solo?
Oh no, it came out the other day. Hey, I
Yeah,
haven't yet.
bro.
I need to check it
Oh,
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, like
Yeah,
the one that he released before it, like a couple of weeks ago or however long it was, is
yep,
super dope.
yep,
This
yep.
one it's got a very different vibe, a very different feel, but it's
Sick.
phenomenal, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Watch it. As soon as we're done here, watch it.
Yeah, yeah. He's a menace, that man. Eh? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
he is a goat for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hence why he
yeah.
gets mentioned so much on the show. Like every
Exactly.
second
Yeah,
drummer,
yeah,
if not
yeah,
more, has mentioned him. So yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's it. Yep,
Cool. So, Stefan, this one has been a little bit more difficult for the other drummers that I've asked to answer, which is exactly why I keep asking it. Can
yep,
you,
yep.
how would you describe your style?
Yeah, sure. I think my style for what we play and like pull down the sun and stuff is probably more straightforward than people think it is. It's pretty standard. It's lots of beats ending in fills and then into the next beat or something. You know what I mean? I'm not doing these massive long fills or huge. Haven't to this point done a lot of big like tom sections and stuff like that. It's pretty much just beats. Um, and I fucking love that big crash ride thing, man. I will beat that shit up
Mm,
all day. I love it. So yeah, just quite big, open. I love my cymbals. Um, yeah, I'm not like I say, I'm sort of my roots come from sort of new metal and stuff, so I'm not a brutal dude. I do about half a blast beat in one song. It's not technical stuff. It's fun, and I hope it's a little bit groovy and stuff. But yeah,
mm,
it's pretty much yeah, somewhere between Abe Cunningham and Mario is probably my goal, I suppose. Not
sure.
comparing myself to those guys at all because they're legends, but somewhere in that little sandwich. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have obviously been with Pull Down the Sun since the start, right? You were
No, no. So
no.
I'm actually not the original drummer.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been with them forever. Like they've been a thing for 10 years, and I've been there for like 9 and a bit.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, their drummer is originally Ethan Coleman. If you know the band Drones.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, yeah,
With the
yeah,
X
yeah.
for the O, right?
It's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was the OG drummer.
Okay.
Um, because he was in Pariah with Court before
Sure.
Pull Down the Sun.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So he was the original drummer, and then I joined later on. But yeah, been with him ever since, and wouldn't change a fucking thing, man. It's been awesome.
Sure. Just quickly, you've heard
Yes,
Pariah's album, right? Is it
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Marmalade,
yeah.
Marmalade.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, don't do this to me, man. It's a jam jam.
Jam Jam! Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
See,
I
the fuck
fucking
thing
love
is,
that album.
yeah, oh, dude, it's so good. I'm technically the drummer for Pariah at the moment because we play like every couple of years. We'll just like smash out like an opening set for like a Pull Down the Sun show locally
Oh,
or something.
true.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's a little bit of a weird trivia thing. We don't have anything planned at the moment, but
Sure.
every now and again something will be like, hey, should we just play a gig? You're like, okay. So yeah,
Sweet
yeah.
as.
See what the future holds there. It'd be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, getting back to what I was originally going to ask,
Yeah. Sorry,
what
man. Yeah.
is no, 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 it was me that took us off track, bro. You're all good.
Oh, sweet.
What is the writing process for Pull Down the Sun?
Yeah. So that's kind of changed a bit over the years. Like, so when I joined, I think the boys had 4 songs that were all 3.5 odd songs that were like done, and I pretty much just took those, played what was there, and just added a couple of little splashy, tingy, bloody, Zilbel bits to them, and sort of called it a day. I didn't want to, reinvent the wheel with that stuff because that was the reason I joined the band, and because I was a fan, like I loved what they did, and I didn't want to mess with that at all. Nowadays it's a little bit different. Like we're a little bit more collaborative and stuff like that. So usually it starts with a riff. Usually Court's got a riff or two, and he'll chuck something together. Um, and it may or may not have drums to it. But those are sort of I don't know if you write many songs yourself, but usually when you're writing like riffs and stuff, you've got an idea of what you want the drums to sound like. So sometimes they come with those, sometimes they don't. Um, and yeah, I'll sort of just take his idea and kind of build on it, or sometimes it's just a riff and I'll write drums to it and send it back to him. It's like, cool, yep, that works. Yeah, it's a little bit of it's an interesting process with Pull Down the Sun because sometimes we will just not write a song for 6 months, and then sometimes we'll write 3 songs in a week and on the spot in the jam room. It's a real it's quite out of it. It's a lot of fun, but it's definitely a bit more collaborative these days. There's only the 3 of us now, so we kind of have the chance to sit around. It's pretty easy to get together and work on stuff and send stuff back and forward, technology and all that buzz.
Sure.
So yeah, yeah, no, it's quite cool. We're sort of doing some writing and recording and bits and pieces at the moment. So
Fuck yeah,
yeah,
man. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. I'm
yeah.
excited.
Little ways off yet, but I
Sure.
don't even know if I was allowed to say that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, we post about it. That's fine. Yeah, no, we're recording. Yeah, it's
Sweet.
cool. Yeah.
So I want to branch off from that
Mm.
just a little bit. You mentioned it just being the 3 of you. So I know
Yes.
that the bass track is obviously played through the PA. It's tied into
Yes.
the click and all that kind of business. Now,
Correcto. Yep.
in Teeth and Nails, we play to a click live, but we
Yes.
we don't have the pressure of anything outwardly being tied to it. So
Oh,
obviously
yep.
we want to stick to it, but shit happens
Yep.
sometimes, and sometimes we find ourselves off the click. So it's just the
Yep.
press of the button and the click's gone, right?
Yep. Yep.
You don't
Yep.
have that luxury. Can you tell us about
Nah.
that pressure?
I love that pressure, dude. It's a tricky one, because I mean, touchwood, I've never completely fucked off the click.
Oh,
I
lucky.
think there's a once or twice, yeah, yeah, once or twice a while ago, um, at the end of a song called Utu that we do. It's this kind of like I'm probably not even getting this right, but it's like a 7/8 9/8 repeating pattern.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and one day I just didn't do the 9/8 and I just carried on doing, you know, back into
Oh,
the 7/8. So I was off by half a beat and the guys kind of went, oh, but it was still on time. So that was the key thing, and then came back later on. Um, and no one really noticed. So, or no one came up afterwards and we, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
so that was cool. Yeah, but nah, like I say, haven't actually completely come off it yet. There's the odd time where I notice I'm, lagging a little bit or the inverse, but nah, it's been really good so far with that stuff. Um, and it seems to be the way that a lot of people are doing it, especially obviously when you don't have a bass player or whatever.
Mm,
So nah, I love it, man. It is a little bit of pressure, but it's not been an issue so far.
sure.
So yeah, I mean, when it's gonna be an issue, it's gonna be a fucking issue, right? But we'll cross that
Sure.
bridge when we have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, you touched on something there. I really wish the other members of the band could know what it feels like to have the entire rest of the band turned around and look at you if you
Yeah.
fuck up. Hey, that's
Yeah.
a unique, like,
That
maybe
is,
maybe the
yeah.
other guitarist will look at the guitarist, or the guitarist and the bass player will look at a guitarist if they fuck up. But to have
Yeah.
all two, three, four other members of the band all turn
Yeah.
around and look at you when you fuck up,
Yeah.
oh,
It's a
oh,
yeah, yeah, it's a heartbreak that one, eh? You're
yeah,
like I know,
bro.
man, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't look at me. Don't look at me because that makes
yeah,
it more obvious. But
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
wish that the non-drummers could experience exactly what that to have the whole band turn and look at
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's a
Because it
real vibe.
is it's a vibe. Yeah, that's right, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So moving on, is there a specific technique that you are practicing or working on improving at the moment?
I've thought about this. Um, not not really like kind of a technique, but just my dynamics, I guess. Um,
True.
I get told a lot that I'm a really hard hitter and stuff like that. Like it's a point of pride, and it's like I just get carried away at shows, man. I can't help myself. But
Sure.
fuck it, you break some cymbals, man, doing that. So I'm just trying to just tone it down a little bit. Hopefully, still be as active, but
Mm,
just yeah, just try to play into some dynamics a little bit more. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I'm actively working on trying to do. Just because, yeah, like you know what it's like, man. You crack a cymbal and it's like, oh, cool. There's immediately $600. Like, cool.
yes.
Don't have that, so choice.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
angle
yeah,
grinder it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah. So that's pretty much my vibe at the moment. Is trying to just calm my farm a little bit and still play with passion and stuff like that,
Sure.
obviously, but just without breaking shit would be cool.
Sure. It's
Yeah,
it's hard to do. You know, the
yeah,
guitarists and bass players and vocalists just, it's not just as simple as playing softer because there's
yeah,
energy,
yeah.
there's feel, there's vibe, and it's not just as
Yep,
simple as playing softer because like I can play softer, but then all of my it yeah the whole aesthetics of it just falls apart. And for me,
exactly, man.
my stage aesthetics I feel is like I'm not one of these guys flipping sticks and jumping
Yep,
around,
yep,
but there is a lot of
yep.
movement, there's a lot of crowd, or I try to get a bit of
Yeah,
crowd interaction where I can.
that's the way. Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and so it's not just as simple as playing softer because there's
Nah,
something lost in there. So it is an
that's
art
it.
form. I
Yep.
wish you luck. I could never do
Yeah.
it. I could never do it. So good luck to
Oh
you,
yeah.
bro.
I didn't say I was succeeding, but I'm certainly giving it a go.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep.
So now, Stefan, we move on to a game called First, Last, Best, and Worst. This is where you tell us
Yes.
about the first show that you ever played, the last show that you played, your best show or what the best show was. That's open to
Yep.
interpretation, and the worst
Yep.
show as well. Again, open for interpretation. We'll get to that in a moment. Starting
Sweet.
us off, please. What was your first ever show?
Yeah, man. So the first show, my memory's pretty terrible with this stuff, and I've been racking my brain. Um, I'm pretty sure one of the first shows, or the first show that I ever played was with my old band that I was in with my brother called Cell Nine. We were like a new metal kind of band, and we played at, I don't know if you've seen the Breakers Bar.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, like those little family restaurant things. They used to have metal gigs in Wanganui there. Um, Wanganui's out of its scene, man. It's kind of one of those places where it seems to only ever be one venue that's doing metal at a time, and then that one either stops doing it or shuts down or something, and then someone else will pop up and do stuff, you know.
Oh, true.
So yeah, for a little while there, Breakers, nice for a little family restaurant was where we did our metal gigs, and yeah, that was the first one that I can remember doing it
Okay.
at one of those. Yeah, yeah.
How old were you?
Oh man, I would have been 22 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did play a show on my 21st, but it was kind of a private show for me and my family and friends and stuff. It wasn't really like a public thing, so this was the first public sort of outing. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's cool. Good fun.
Uh, what was your last show?
The last show that we played was Porirua Rocks. So that was in Porirua, obviously. And that was actually fucking sick, man, because we had a bunch of bands, like five or six bands, and in between every single band was a live wrestling match. So,
True.
like your WWE style, kind of like, larger than life dudes like yelling out to the crowds and um that. So those matches would go for like 20, 25 minutes. And then so there was no lull, there was no setup because we were setting up while that was going. So,
Hmm.
we had our stage over here, the wrestling ring here. So everyone would turn around, watch the wrestling, yeah, go nuts and fucking cool. And then they'd turn around and the band's ready to go. So that was a sick setup. It was like that and craft beers. So like a craft beer wrestling music festival thing. And that was sick. Um, that was headlined by Shepherd's Rain. And they
Choice.
yeah, one of the wrestlers actually has their song as his like entry song.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they like played it live for him while he came into like the
Ah,
championship match. It was such a vibe, man. It was so cool. Um,
awesome.
but yeah, that was a cool event, man. I hope they do some more of that because that was really sick.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Napier Death Metal Festival where it's one stage and then you turn around
Oh
and on the other.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Have you played or been to one of those?
I haven't actually. No, I
Ah,
see them
okay.
every year, and I'm like, oh, I should go, and then we always end up doing something, or something comes up, or
Sure. Well, you must
yeah,
have
yeah,
played at the Cabana,
yeah, absolutely,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Well, there's
yeah,
there's the main stage, but then that platform at the back corner across from the
yeah,
bar. Yeah.
yep,
So
yep,
the band will be playing on here while this band's setting up, and then they'll
yeah,
finish. That band will start pretty much straight away. This band sets up, and it
awesome,
just goes back and forth like that. It's fucking
yeah.
awesome, man. Roger and
It's
Claude
such a
do an
good
amazing
setup,
job.
eh? Like,
Oh, bro,
yeah,
it's dope. It's
yeah.
absolutely dope.
Oh,
Um,
sick.
moving on.
Yes.
So best show that you've ever played. Now, this can be the best
Mm.
that you've ever played. This can be the best gig in terms of band, whether it was an international or just friends. Um,
Yep, yep,
can be best vibe, best audience reception. It's really open to interpretation. But
yeah, man.
Stefan, best show, please.
Oof. I think my best show was probably Rock Monsters. So that was at Butler's Reef, just out of New Plymouth. Um, and that was sick, man, because it was like a big show. North Lane headlined, and we were just playing with just the lineup was just all of our best friends. Like every band that we've like toured the country with, that was the whole lineup. It was put together by our booking agent JP, Jason Peters, and yeah, he got North Lane over. It was like Crooked Royals, Caridian, Written by
Hmm.
Wolves, us, Elodie. Yeah, it was so sick, man. Just because we got like this backstage and we're all hanging out with our mates, and it was just cool, awesome crowd. And then we had a big booker batch, and like us and Elodie hung out, and just there was shenanigans, and it was just great. So yeah, that was such a cool, awesome event. Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Now the flip side of that is the worst show. Now this can be the worst that you played. It can be the funniest moment that happened on stage. It can be the worst
Yep.
setup. I've had a couple of guys tell me about some wonky fucking drum kits that they've had to play on.
Oh
It
man,
can
yeah.
be worst venue. Again, open to interpretation, please.
Cool. I kind of have a couple if it's okay. I kind of have like a worst
Bro,
show and a worst moment.
all good. Easy as.
Awesome. So the worst show, I hope the boys would agree with me on this, but we on our album release tour, so this was either end of 2020 or early 2021. I can't remember the exact dates, but we played in Palmerston North. Um, and I can't quite remember the venue. I feel like it was Castle 789 or something was the name. It's a big bar. And so we played there, we're on our way to the venue. We turn up and we start loading all our gear in and stuff like this. This is Palmerston North. We're only an hour away in Wanganui, so it wasn't a huge trip. We get there and we're like, I wonder where the soundy's at. So we message him up, hey man, are you on your way to the show or something? And he's just like, oh, what? What? Oh, is that show? Is that still on? Are you guys doing that show? And like he was responsible. He was going to bring us the PA and everything. Um,
Oh,
so we are like, oh God, we were already in Palmerston North, like setting up our stuff. And so anyway, he scrambled and grabbed a bit of stuff, but he couldn't get all his good stuff. I drove back to Wanganui, grabbed all our monitor speakers because they didn't have any. Drove back to Palmy, sort of blew my car up on the way, not being a dick or anything like that, but dropped a cylinder.
fuck.
And yeah, got back to Palmy, and then so the PA was like, I don't know, if you went into the cash converters and they had a PA system for sale, that was the PA we used.
Oh
Those
shit.
those old 90s carpeted box,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
8-channel powered mixers, that was us.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so we were rocking that with all the drums and stuff like that. And we didn't really have a sound guy because he buggered off again, and
Oh,
so
what
we
the
were kind of
fuck?
doing it ourselves. And yeah, one of the local lads actually helped us out. It was Andrew from Dead Set, actually. I see the
Ah,
hat.
yeah.
He kind of jumped on sound for us as good as he could and stuff. With yeah, it's the one. Um, and yeah, but it was just an absolute just shit show, man. Like it was terrible. We ended up just like yeeting the microphone off stage midway through because it was just not coming through, and then it got turned. Someone went over and just went yeah with the vocal, and so couldn't even whisper without it just feeding back, and it was just
Oh,
absolute trash, man. It was custard, but yeah, that was the worst
oh.
show we've ever played, I think. The worst moment personally, we were playing a show. It was probably on the same tour, to be honest, but Ding Dong Lounge in Auckland,
Okay,
and back in the day when we first started doing clicks and stuff like that, I had like an iPad and my own little mixer, and that was
sure.
kind of like all these cables in and out and all this stuff. And I just usually had it sat on a drum stool next to me or a seat or whatever I could find, so I could touch the iPad to start the song, kind of thing. And midway through, at the moment, there's sort of one song that has like solid double kicks in it, and that just shook everything just enough for that whole motherfucker to just go. Bleh. And so my
Oh,
ears were plugged into that. So my custom silicon molded things, they ripped, or one of them ripped the whole thing. The
oh,
song stopped. Everyone just kind of went, oh, like the whole crowd just went, oh, and we all did. And I just went bright red because it was my fault. I didn't strip the shit down, And yeah, I learned from that. It's not our setup anymore. We've
sure.
gone to a different setup now because of that show. But yeah, that was pretty shit. Like I say, I haven't gone off the click, but I have completely derailed a show by all of my shit falling over. So yeah, that was a rough time.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Uh, Something that I've said before, and I'll say it 1,000 times more. Sometimes the hard lessons need to be learned, right? Like it
yeah, oh,
sucks, but
100%, man.
sometimes
Yeah,
they need to be learned. So,
yeah, yeah,
oh, but I feel for you there, man. That sounds fucking horrible.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah. That was
God.
my heart sank, but yeah, we
Yes,
made it.
absolutely. So, Stefan, moving on from there, um, if people want to find Pull Down the Sun, find your music, find a way to, see more about you guys, where
Yeah,
would they
man.
go?
You can go to pulldownthesun.com, or we're on all the social stuff. It's usually at Pull Down the Sun. I think it probably is for everything, Facebook, Instagram. We probably have a TikTok, all of those things. Yeah, that's pretty much. I know we're on all the streaming stuff as well, Spotify, Tidal, all of those bad boys. We're on
Sure.
all of that. And
Have you got a
yeah,
YouTube?
yes, we do. We do have a
Okay.
YouTube. It doesn't. We don't use it very often, but
Sure.
hopefully more so in the future.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are now at the very last part of the show, Stefan. So this is where
Sweet.
you get to make any plugs for anything that you've got coming up, even though you've kind of touched on it, but
Yep.
anything you've got coming up, and make any shout outs to any people that you want to make shout outs to. Stefan, sir, the
Sweet.
floor is yours.
Thank you, man. Yeah. So depending on when this goes out, this weekend we're playing with we're actually opening for the Ocean in Auckland and Wellington, alongside Algorithms in Auckland and Spook the Horses in Wellington. And the Ocean are like we had to have a word with ourselves just to be cool about playing with them because they are like our freaking dads, man. We love those guys, and they also Robin from the Ocean also owns Pelagic Records, who is our distributor for our album,
Oh,
Auckland
okay.
distributor. Yeah, yeah. So we're pretty freaking excited to be playing with them, to say the least.
Fuck
So yeah,
yeah.
that's coming up Friday and Saturday, Auckland and Wellington respectively. Um, yeah, no. Otherwise, keep an eye on our stuff. We're cooking up some stuff that hopefully people are gonna like. So that's definitely coming soon. Um, but yeah, shout outs. Obviously, my boys Court and Jason.
Fuck
Um,
yeah.
yeah, they are my
Fuck yeah.
brothers, and fucking we've been through some shit. So yeah, love those boys. Um, but just everyone in the scene, man. Like I said it all over social media and stuff like that. But my favorite part of doing all this stuff is going around the country, seeing New Zealand, and just hanging out with awesome people. And metal musicians, metal fans are genuinely the coolest fucking people you'll ever meet in your life. Um, yeah, just shout outs to all of those guys, all of my fellow drummers, yourself, bro, for doing this stuff. Magic, man. Thank you for having me on. It's been sick, and
Oh, all good.
yeah, just anyone that supports us, means the
Sure.
world to us. We say it a million times. We're just three dads from Wanganui, bro, doing what we love doing. So we wouldn't be able to do it with the people not coming to the shows or listening to the music or spread the
Absolutely
word.
right.
Hey,
Absolutely
man.
right. Awesome. Well, Stefan, this has been a journey, bro. You are the fucking man, and I really appreciate your time, bro. I really appreciate you coming on my show, bro. Thank you so much.
Dude, anytime, man. Thank you so much for having me. Really
All
appreciate it.
good. Hey, the appreciation is all coming from me, man. You are a fucking star. So, thank you so much to Stefan for being on my show. Thank you so much for watching. This has been The Drop Clutch with me, Ricky V. This will be episode number 24. We'll see you next time.
See you later, man. Thanks so much.